Hey guys, so in this video, it's going to be kind of fun, or fun for me, I guess. I just got back from a local breeder. He's one of our club members, used to be the club president of our local fish club. And if you guys heard in like previous live streams, I bought Super Red breeding trio for my 55 that's here in my office. And I ended up getting an offer for the trio, and I said, all right, let's do this, because I saw a different Pleco I really wanted to get and try breeding. This is a group of 12 breeding Plecos, and they're proven breeders. They've bred for him before. He sold off all the juveniles. I'm sorry, I'm a little shaky. And he's just making tank space, is moving on to a new fish. So I'm going to show you what I got, and we're going to put him in this 55. I just did a water change. That's what this bucket's for, or trash can. My cycle is good. I just did a API master test kit, checking all three, and I'm at the perfect level. I have no ammonia, no nitrites, and my nitrates were pretty much undetectable. So I feel confident I can put them in. And I think because these are 12 breeding size Plecos, I'm going to do some extra filtration. I have 2 box filters, one at each end, and the polyfill does need changed on them, if you can see, but I've been leaving that in there because that polyfill is going to have a bunch of bacteria in it, and I don't want to pull that out just yet. I think what I'm going to do is add like a planter box on top, and I don't know if I'll use an air tube to airlift water up to it, or put a little mini pump in it, but I want to do like pothos or something like that up top, just to pull extra nitrates out, especially since there'll be a big breeding group in this tank. But anyways, let's get these fish out of their bags, and I'm going to start floating them and show you guys the actual fish. So let's see it. All right, guys, I actually got 2 different fish I bought. There's some Plecos in here, and there's also some corydoras. I do have a bag that was outside of the box, and the water is dirty. This came out of a tank, and there's like plant matter and whatnot in there. But here's 2 of the 12. These are L-107 brilliant bushy nose Plecos, and they kind of have that star pattern. They're black body with these small white dots, and they just look really good, especially when they're fully colored up. This one's a little light on the belly, but just look at that guy already. So there's 7 bags of fish. Not all 7 bags are these Plecos. Let me get these bags floating, and then I'll get some video of them in the tank. But yeah, I'm super stoked to get these guys breeding. All right, I got the bags floating. I purposely underfilled this tank when I just did my water change. I do have my Python ready to add water once these guys are in. And I got my net. This is how I do my import fish. I think this is a 10-inch net. I put a little bend in the top so that way it kind of hooks onto the handle. And then the other handle sits right here. And then I can pour all the import fish into this. Their dirty tank water or bag water goes to the bottom, and then I'm left with just the fish. I will do that with these guys because I don't want to introduce Paul's tank water. Even though he's a master breeder, he's very good at what he does. I have no problems with probably him having any kind of issues, but no matter who you get your fish from, you should always practice safe introductions into your systems. So his water will go into the trash can, and then only the fish will go in. I'm gonna let these guys float. He was keeping them at like 76 degrees, but he said for breeding they need to be at 82, and this tank is at 82. So I'm gonna let them float probably for a half an hour, just so I can make sure their water matches mine as far as temperature, and they won't get shocked. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put them into it. But look at this guy. Look at that. Tell me that is not awesome. Look at the eyes and everything. Sorry guys, there's a lot of water spots on the outside of my tank, which is not helping the video, but man, they just look awesome. All right, so let's let these guys acclimate. I should also mention real quick, guys, I do know where all these Plecos originally came from. These are from Stephen Tanner. So it's kind of nice knowing where your fish came from. Stephen Tanner was the source of these Plecos. So these are the L-107 Brilliant Bristlenose. So we'll see them here in just a minute. All right, guys, what's left in these two bags? These are wild caught corydoras Barbatus. These are from Chris, I think it's Ben's, B-E-N-E-S, I believe. These are where those came from. And these are cooler water, so these are actually going to go into the beta rack. Where are they at? There they are. So I do believe that Paul also had these already breeding. He just hasn't been able to have time to collect the eggs. Because, you know, with corydoras, you need to pull the eggs out of the tank, because if not, they will eat them. So the best thing to do is scrape them off the glass or wherever they lay the eggs. But this should be 6 of them. And Barbatus corydoras. And these are wild caught, so that's awesome. So when I get if I have the ability to breed them and raise the fry successfully, I will have F1 babies for sale. So let me get these guys out to the beta rack. Alright guys, so I was going to put these cories into the beta rack system. The beta rack system's empty other than it has plants and like nearite snails to help like eat the algae and stuff. I always test tanks. Typically weekly. If it's a new tank, new system, I use my API, like the master test kit, so that I can really dial in all the parameters. This system's been up for, I don't know what it's been, a couple months now. Since I sold off all the original betas, it's been empty. I haven't brought any more new ones in. I've been dosing this thing heavily with fertilizer because it has a bunch of plants in it, as you can see. I went to test the water just so that way I can see what the pH is, the GH and KH and all that stuff. And this system, I tested one tank, and since this is on a central system, every single tank is the exact same parameters. I'm showing nitrites in this system right now. So I don't know if the system crashed or if with all the fertilizers, something happened. So I'm running nitrites, which means my beneficial bacteria, number 2, the second stage, is still working to catch up. So I don't want to put those corydoras in this system when I know I'm running nitrites, okay? I could water change this out, but I'm still gonna run the nitrite problem until that bacteria catches back up. So I'm gonna leave this how it is. So my backup plan, and I can move them there, because the reason I wanna use that system is because I plan on breaking the corydoras up into either pairs or trios, and maybe having 2 or 3 tanks used. Once they lay eggs, since this is all the same system, I'm just going to play musical fish. I'm just going to move the fish to another tank and leave the eggs in that tank. They can hatch in that tank and grow up without being eaten by the parents. And, you know, with right now there's 4, 8, 11 tanks set up. There's supposed to be more. This whole top shelf's supposed to be filled with them. I never got that far. But that will allow me to move the fish tank to tank, like, hey, they laid a ton of eggs last night. Move the pair over, let that tank right there, you know, hatch the eggs out. And that way I don't have to worry about, like, scraping the eggs. I can just let them go. Now, if I run into problems with the eggs fungusing, you should use methylene blue on them to help keep them from fungusing. Then I would have to actually pull the eggs, put them in, like, a Tupperware container and treat them to help keep them from fungusing. Anyways, this is not going to work right this minute until it regains its cycle. This is the 100 pack of the test strips. This is what I use. It comes in 25 pack and 100 packs. Definitely just buy the 100 pack, guys. I know it's a lot, I don't want to say a lot more money. It's cheaper when you price it out, right? So it's 4 times as much, it's not 4 times the price. It's always nice to have these, especially when you're setting up a new tank. It's real quick and easy. It's way quicker than the master test. I do like the master test to really dial in all the parameters. And if you have a bunch of the test tubes, you can set up multiple test tubes and test multiple tanks at once. But these are nice for like the quick, like I just want to check it real quick, see, make sure everything's good. The main thing I recommend these for is when you start using fertilizers. So if you have a planted tank, it's well established, and you're trying to target 20 or 40 parts per million of the nitrates for optimum plant growth. These are great for that because you can just dip it like, hey, I'm at 20, I'm going to go a little bit heavier, not too much heavier on fertilizer. That's what these are good for. Anyways, getting sidetracked, guys. So I'm going to end up putting the cories into this 10-gallon. They were held in a basement, a non-heated basement, so they fluctuated, Paul said, between 60 degrees and 75, depending on the time of the year. And this is out in my family room. This tank is not heated. It is running a box filter, and it basically just has ram's horns in it. I used to keep clown Plecos in this tank. They're actually out in the fish room now because a couple of the tanks were getting pretty heavy algae growth. So I moved them out there. So now this tank just has ram's horns. It's not planted anymore. It did have a Nubius in it. I ended up killing the Nubius doing a test. And anyways, there's still some green rhizome. So I don't want to say probably will come back. It might come back. But anyways, I'm going to put the corydoras in this tank just for now until the beta rack recycles and I know it's safe for them. So anyways, I'm going to get them floating in that tank now. All right, they're floating. I just realized this light just comes out of its holder. I've been like unbolting it from the glass and I forgot that it was tight and I went to pull this up and it just came right out. That makes cleaning this tank a lot easier. But anyways, I ended up doing a water change on this. I figured the water parameters were fine. There was no nitrates in the water, but I figured let's just go ahead and while I'm doing this, go ahead and do a water change. I did like an 80% water change. I filled it light because the bags have volume. So I'm gonna let them temperature acclimate and then get them in this tank. But while that's temperature acclimating, let's go get the Plecos into their new home. All right, guys, once again, sorry for all the watermarks. I will definitely clean that up before my next live stream. But the Plecos are all in this tank. They've actually been here for about an hour or so. There's only one that I'm kind of questioning, and I'll show you in a second. But they look awesome, don't they? And the one I'm questioning actually just moved. Is that one right in the center. It's very light. And typically when a Pleco is really light, you know, it could be that they're not doing so hot. But other than that, you know, it might be just how she is. She just might be a light pattern versus the other guys. But, you know, they are, you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there was one in one of these caves, and I'm guessing the other one's also. Anyways, there's supposed to be 12, and I do believe I did count 12 earlier. Oh, there's the 12th back there. I didn't see it. Anyways, they're looking good. That one's just a little washed out. I guess that's the best way to describe that one, is it's washed out. But I will check on them tomorrow. Their lights are actually out. I kicked it on. I guess I'll see if they'll eat tonight. I was going to say, normally I'll give them 24 hours to eat, or to kind of relax, but being that I have the super red in here, let's go see if they'll eat some rapashi. Alright guys, here's the Barbatus cories. These guys are looking great. And as soon as I put them in, they were basically sifting through the gravel. I did put some bloodworms in here. They ate it all. So I went ahead and put a little bit of tetracolor tropical granules in here. And they're looking pretty good. And there's a couple of them that have like a little bit different patterns than each other, which is super awesome. This guy kicked my light on. Let me see if I can turn this light off. There we go. I got my light off. Of course, as soon as I turn it off, he goes away, but check these guys out. They are beautiful, and these are wild caught. And it might be a little hard to get them really clear because this is like a bow front, so it gives it a little distortion to the video. I'm doing my best. Yeah, there's one back there. Yeah, there's one back there. I put the Tetra color in here to try to get them up to the front, and as it sank, it kind of blew towards the back, so that was not what I intended. Look at this guy. This is the guy that I thought was sweet with that stripe down the center. Super awesome. Hopefully these guys breed and I can see what they pop out. They do breed. I just gotta make sure I can breed them. I'm going to go ahead and probably put some more plants in this tank too. Alright, so I put some Repashy in this tank. I basically make it in a Tupperware, and then I can just slice off pieces, kind of like cheese, right? And that's what this is right here. And the Repashy is actually, it's morning wood and it's bottom scratcher. I combined the two. And this, look at that. A little super red on that guy. That's funny. It's not your parents, dude. So anyways, you can see there's one on it already. I figured these other guys, you know, they're probably not comfortable yet. They probably won't really start eating until I turn the lights off. I just was curious if they would, because I know the super reds, when I drop in the Repashy, they always come out and start eating on it. But I dropped in 3 chunks. So one, that one's like a thin one. This one's like a thick, heavy-duty one. And then one that's kind of like in between over there. And I do it in 3 spots. Alright guys, it's the next day. And I'm going to put more caves in this. I got more, so that's not a problem. But they are taking up all the caves. So you can see them. There's the one that was real light color, kind of washed out. I just checked water parameters. They're still good. But there's one in every single cave, which is pretty sweet because this is a breeding group. So hopefully soon they'll be fanning some eggs. So yeah, they're doing good. So far, so good. Got some more eggs coming. The exact same spot as last time. Looks like they just started. Maybe 8 of them. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. This footage I just pulled off my phone from a while ago when I got these fish. I've had them for, I feel like, a month now, and the Plecos haven't bred yet. The Barbatus corys have been dropping eggs kind of randomly, and I noticed I have to catch them very quickly because they will eat the eggs. And I did pull the first set, and unfortunately I got sidetracked on some other stuff, and I didn't keep up with like water changing the eggs, and they did fungus. And I don't actually have any methylene blue right now. Everybody's sold out of it. I can't get it from any of my wholesalers, so I need to try to get some methylene blue to really help my chances of hatching those eggs. But everybody's doing great. I haven't had a single loss. I'm really hoping I can put more time into these Plecos. I'm still feeding them Repashy every day, and I mean, they're doing good. I need them to breed. That's the goal. The Super Reds are still doing good with them. And yeah, that's it for this video. I know it's been a while. You guys probably know I've had these for a while, and I'm sorry it's taken so long to get this footage out, but I'm going through my phone each night this week and pulling out the old videos and trying to get them uploaded for you guys. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Turn the notification bell on if you want to see new content when I upload it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see ya.